Good evening and welcome back to the Hungry Road. My name is still Eric, if you have not ever seen one of my videos before. And this is the Hungry Road, a channel where I kind of talk about the cars that I rent on my work trips and the food that I eat while I'm out. This week's rental is the 2021 Audi A5. This is the 45 TFSI premium package. So I'll go over some of those things in a second. But I got very excited when I saw an Audi on the lot. They're kind of hard to spot and rare to see, but I got very excited because I have a soft spot for Audi. Out of the three big German luxury brands, BMW, Mercedes, and Audi, Audis are my favorite in general. Plus my fiance drives an Audi and she has great taste. So let's get into it. Now, Audis have always been known as kind of the low-key sort of car. It's very subtle, it's not flashy, it's not in your face, there aren't sharp lines and vents and stuff everywhere. It's kind of just about its business. It looks great, very sophisticated, luxurious, and they've always been very powerful vehicles as well. So this one here is, like I said, the 45 TFSI, which has the upgraded engine from the 40 TFSI. This one is a 2-liter single turbo engine that makes 200 horsepower and 273 pound-feet of torque. Now the 40 TFSI is it's not a smaller engine, it's just detuned. It only makes 201 horsepower and 236 pound-feet of torque. But again, I'm glad that the rental car agency opted this one with the bigger engine, but I'm not very happy with some of the other things they opted out of, and we'll kind of get to that in a second. This spec here is in black, obviously, the leather interior on the inside as well, fitted with the 18-inch 5-spoke wheels, which do come with the 45 TFSI package, not with the 40 TFSI package, so you're going to want to get these wheels. Like I mentioned earlier, with that 45 package, you do get the upgraded engine, which gives you a 0 to 60 of 5.3 seconds for a car weighing 3,765 pounds, which is actually pretty good. I've tested it out on the highway, and when you don't really leave off the line very quickly, but when you need that passing speed on the highway for those semis or somebody in a slow lane, you absolutely can put your foot to the gas and get going. Now, though I said I had a soft spot for Audi, let's go over a few things I do like and don't like about the car. The positives: it is a gorgeous car. It reminds me a lot of the A7, S7, and RF7 from prior generations. And like they just made it a little more compact, a little more affordable, of course. The A7 and S7 were my favorite Audis next to the R8, and this resembles those. I love them. I love the big wheels, the 18-inch 5-spoke wheels, very nice, simple, very classy, elegant. I love the integrated turn signals into the mirrors. I love the history of Audi's reliability. I love the interior. It's very simple, very plain, not too crazy. I love the giant panoramic sunroof, slides all the way back. I love the very straightforward and simple interior. I love how Audi pioneered the LED crazy looking lights in the front, but not on this car. Now let's go over some of the dislikes. The headlights. They're missing Audi's famous curly Q LED daytime running lights that most Audis have, and that's because this one doesn't have an upgraded package. Like, why would Audi even offer that? If these lights are kind of like your thing, why don't you just make it standard? Another thing that's not standard is keyless entry. The keys are in my pocket, but I have to press the buttons to get into the car. Yes, I may feel entitled or whatever, but this is a $45,000 car. I should not have to press any buttons to get into the car. Makes you feel like a peasant. We'll get to that later. But if you option the convenience package, which is $1,800, it does come with keyless entry. Yes, I can keep the keys in my pocket to start the car, but I want to get in the same way. It doesn't make any sense to me, because if you look at the door handles, the indentations for the keyless entry are there. They just don't work. They just don't operate. I think that's pretty stupid. One of my favorite design features of this car is the frameless door seal. So as you know, it kind of looks like it's a nice frame right here, but there isn't. Once you open the door, the window will drop a little bit to break the seal, and you have just glass. Lower the window, you have just a nice sort of it's a different sort of vibe here. You know, most cars have the finished frame, it just looks, you know, whatever. But this is more sleek, more sports car like. I absolutely like the design. The window will stay about this high when the door is open, but if you shut it, it does retreat all the way inside and will come back up. Once you open it again, raise the window all the way up, it'll stop at a certain height so you can't close the door, and the window will go back up into the seal. Vehicle, it is a standard key fob. You do have unlock, lock, trunk button, and a panic button. Press the trunk button twice to open the power lift gate here. Now this thing goes really high in the air. I'm unsure of why it goes this high, but maybe you're transporting a fridge or a washer and dryer in the back of your A5 Sportback. Anyway, since I mentioned Sportback, the Sportback does add a lot more cargo space instead of a traditional trunk. Also more headroom in the back for rear passengers. But one thing that bothers me a little bit is that this is a power lift gate, and I press the trunk button again, nothing happens. I hear the release, but why doesn't it move? I can press the button here, then it'll close. Why can't I just press the button on my key fob? Other cars do that. Why don't this one? Maybe that's just Audi for you. So down over here on the left side, you do have your drive select mode. You just press up or down. You can go to either direction. Starting with comfort, which makes the road softer, or the ride softer. Then you have auto, which will determine on its own somehow how you want to drive. Another feature I don't like is just these screens are just getting out of hand. They build the dashboard and then they just slap a screen on it. Like, it doesn't even look like it belongs. It doesn't retract, doesn't retreat like the old S7, A7s used to do, or even the Cadillac screens. But this thing just sits here like it's just a TV on the dash, and I don't know. Yes, it has its good features, you know, Apple CarPlay, and it's very responsive and stuff, but it just sits here. Like, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it. I wish they would somehow integrate it into the dash like other car makers have done. All right, guys, we are inside the 2021 Audi A5 45 TFSI premium package. Take it out for a spin. This is my last day with the vehicle. It's been a pretty good one. Gonna give you some driving impressions here. But overall, the car is pretty comfortable. I've been driving in dynamic mode most of the time because I like a sportier feel to my cars. But when you put it in comfort, it does give a relatively smooth ride. It is a family sedan on 18-inch wheels, so it's not like floating on a cloud like the Rolls-Royce slogan, but it's still very comfortable. So I am on the way to the airport. I'm gonna get 2 good pulls in. We have our famous stop sign that's been in all of my videos so far, and we're gonna have the highway pull. So let's go down this little ramp here. I'm gonna put the car into dynamic, click down a couple times, change the little racetrack there. It's kind of cute. Those are the LED headlights I wish this car had, but it doesn't. Go ahead and do this. And here on the gear shifter, you can put the car into sport by pulling back 1 time. So it's dynamic sport. I'm not sure. I need to do more research on that. Oh, but it's our turn. Stop sign. Actually, let's go manual. I'm just gonna slide the gear shifter over to the right. And then now I got paddle shifter, and let's mash it. Oh my, I was not expecting that. All right, I was not expecting that. I actually haven't done a pull like that since I've had the car all week, but wow, that's Audi's Quattro all-wheel drive system that absolutely kicked in there. A little bit of turbo lag, but wow, it kicked. Yeah, I need to go do that again. This vehicle does have the auto stop start feature that shuts the car off at red lights, and you can manually turn off with the button down here. But I've seen in a lot of cars that if you just put the car into a sport mode or something like that, it automatically turns it off for you. But it doesn't do that in this car. And this is the car with the bigger engine. Maybe in the S5 or RS5 they get rid of that feature altogether. But I understand why it's there. You know, it's trying to reduce the emissions and save on gas. And I get it. It's just kind of annoying because when you want to take off, you take your foot off the brake and the engine has to start again, and then you can take off. So whatever. It's something small you can probably negate or ignore or even get used to, but I have not gotten used to. And to take it back out of manual mode, you just slide the gear shifter back over and the RPMs will adjust to whatever gear it thinks you should be in. I am in the sport mode, so it's going to keep the revs a little higher. Let's pull back on the shifter one more time. Now it's in dynamic, and it dropped the gear or raised the gear to save gas. I like it. There's a little bit of cabin noise in here, but it's expected. It's nothing too crazy. It's relatively quiet outside. You don't really hear the engine very much back there, or the engine's up there, but the exhaust is back there. You don't hear much of it. You know, it's a 4-cylinder, so it's not really much to hear in the first place. This car, however, does have the strongest heated seats I have felt in any vehicle. Like, it feels like I'm getting a little bit of a burn when I have it on the third notch here, and you sit in here for a while. And I've also noticed that many cars I've sat in or I've driven in, the heated seats will turn themselves down over time. This one just leaves it on full blast for you to cook your butt. But, you know, ham for dinner. But I don't, Audi, I don't know. But it's interesting. Just when I was wondering where all the money is in this car, I hit that pull, and that engine did something for me. So I get it. Well, got good brakes here. But yeah, I see where the money went. I see it, you know. That's only 260 horsepower. That's pretty good. But the car does weigh less than 3,800 pounds. So it'll get up and get moving for sure. To wrap things up, I'm going to say this is a rental with potential. I know for a fact if I bought one, I'd spec it with a lot of the features that it has to offer. This one as it sits right now is about $45,000, yet it's missing keyless entry, blind spot detection, adaptive cruise control. Like, it's missing a lot of these cool features that other cars that come standard with. I love the redesign nose. I love the A5 Sportback that makes it look like an A7 or a baby A7. Audi did a lot of things right with this car, but instead of including some of the things that should have been standard, they just kind of like let you piecemeal it and option up yourself. So that's my only gripe with this car. Anyway, thank you for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of the A5 Sportback and what you look forward to me reviewing next. Take care, stay safe.